Club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where he goes. Except that would appear not to be true anymore because young people might not be as likely to go to either of those spots at all. We told you recently about a steep decline in partying among young people, 70% down. And by the way, they're not drinking either. New polling from Gallup shows that Gen Z and millennial Americans are less likely to drink than
Really?
previous generations. In fact, the data shows that only half of adults under the age of 35 drink alcohol at all at any
Really?
time, even a little bit. That
Good
is a
shit.
major decline from the early 2000s when the drinking rate was 72%, more than
Damn.
two-thirds for that very same age group. Now, there are a lot of potential explanations here. A lot has changed in the culture.
Right.
A lot of things that could influence drinking. There's the Me Too movement, the COVID pandemic, social media. There's also a lot more information today at your fingertips about alcohol risks, and it's been coming out in recent years. So the percentage of people 18 to 34 who now say they view alcohol as bad for their health,
Yeah.
that has more than doubled in the past 9 years, less than a decade. So what does this mean? Are we no longer going to see young people getting tipsy at the club, grabbing a drink after work?
Pause.
Was that a song quote?
I hope it was.
I'll say it like this before he carry on. I will say, shit, millennials and Gen Z, bro. I definitely the Gen Z. Like I wouldn't even blame fully the millennials. Millennials still be drinking, but let's count the Gen Zs because those are the individuals that are like somehow I'm a Gen Z. They say I'm not sure. Anyway, they say like basically it's not desirable no more, bro. We don't want it. It's just we understand that it's not good for you. It's literally poison to your body. It distorts your vision, fucks up your kidneys. Your equilibrium is off, bro. All the whole nine. So it's like if you don't, first off, people are still partying because I think what it is the people that are drinking. Maybe the regular millennials ain't drinking, but the ones that go to college is for sure. But then you got the millennials and the Gen Zs that are just like everyday ones. Like first off, it costs money to drink. The time you drink, I think women drink more than men. Possibly, I'm not. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, ladies and gentlemen. But well, like when it comes down to like the women going, I know way more women that go out and party every weekend than I do know men. The same those like I know more men, but the women they go party every weekend. You know what I'm saying? And most of the men that I know don't. That being said, when somebody buying you drinks and y'all partying, having fun and shit, then it makes sense if the women gonna go out and party every night. But then they got to drink, right? So like, and that's what you do at late nights. Me, I don't really drink at all. Actually, I don't really like drinking. It just messes up my day. Like if you drink, it's some shit you do like right before you go to sleep, maybe, because it could affect you waking up and getting active to the gym the next morning. That's I think the mindset that people are doing. Hey, don't let's not forget they're not drinking because they probably smoking the weed, the Mary J. Yep. They smoking that devil's lettuce. And that's another reason why they could not. But then again, I know a lot of people that don't do that either. They really just don't do nothing. And because all that costs money. I think the days of just spending all your money on like substance, because it's a drug regardless, even liquor, substance abuse, you know what I'm saying? The whole nine. You know what I'm saying? So those days, first off, it costs money. Those days are kind of gone and it was fading where people are like, man, there's no excitement in drinking no more. You know what I'm saying? You want those authentic and it leads to bad. Let's just say our new generation, we're making more health conscious decisions, bro. That's it. And we're going to probably live longer due to that. You know what I mean? Maybe because we're boring. Maybe we're not lit as much. Maybe because we know information that y'all didn't know back in the day. And we're not willing to let that information take our lives because we know it takes the lives before. It's like knowing better, so you're doing better. Versus the people that's like, we don't know better. We could know better, but fuck it. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep going.
Otherwise, it sounded really cheesy. asking someone if they want to grab a frozen daiquiri, as my wife asked me out by asking for a frozen daiquiri.
Well,
I chose
she
it.
gave him 3 choices. We'll get into that later.
There was booze in it. All right, to help us understand this generational shift, the editor-in-chief of 17 and Cosmopolitan, Willa Bennett. Willa, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. What's your theory here? What's going on?
Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here. There's a couple things at play. One, we know this generation is increasingly out in the world trying to find real community and camaraderie. We also know the health risks. And lastly, I think the stigma around not drinking is really decreasing.
Do you think there's a relationship between the partying less and socializing yet less and the drinking less?
Yeah, I think people are still socializing. I think they have a relationship with their phone so they can connect easier. And I just don't think you need alcohol to go out anymore.
I'm trying to figure out, is it the phone that's taking people out of the bar because people are at home on the phone, or is it people being frustrated by being on the phone too much, wanting to have real in-person connections?
I think it's a bit of both. I think you can go out, meet someone new. I think we see this generation really seeking out meet cutes and blind dates and community around sporting events in real life. But yeah, I think escapism is different than it's ever been.
Meet cutes as in like meeting a romantic partner cutely on the street when you bump into each other and you're like, oh, you get that kind of thing?
Yeah, there's so much data that really shows that that is what young people are looking for right now.
Authenticity.
So Aubrey, one of our writers and producers, resident young person on staff here, said that social media actually has an effect in that it makes it feel like going out and letting loose is a liability potentially, right? You can't just sort of, it's not 1995,
Right.
and if no one has a Polaroid, you're safe. You can be ridiculous. Do you think the idea of being sloppy in public is just a lot more risky today?
Every single day, there's a new trend of someone being overheard on a subway or a train.
Nah, she getting too deep in the weeds. I say this: people just, first off, you got the police. You drinking, you gonna drive, right? Or you gonna do something stupid, which means like the risk of what you're doing has a bigger risk than it did in the past. They was drinking and driving in the past. They'll get home safe, cool. You do that nowadays, bro, you mess your whole life up for years. Got to pay the government thousands back. And you lose your license. You ain't get a record, bro. It can fuck up your job, shit. So it's like it doesn't the pro don't outweigh the cons outweigh the pros in this situation. I think it's very simple. You know what I mean? They said in young ones, bro, I think our generation got the highest anxiety for real. So it's like I doubt they want to meet motherfuckers like naturally and authentically, but that's not really what's going on for real. Our generation is the ones denying these dudes. You get what I'm saying? Like our generation women, like my generation, they the ones like for real saying, oh, they want this type of guy for real. So those guys just staying in the crib. And I'll be honest, this is probably what's going on in a lot of community. Like look at on the gaming industry. The gaming industry is so high up. Everybody wants to. Everybody got a PS5, whatever. Everybody in the game, they're just like, well, we in our own zone. We don't need to be drunk to play the game. We probably rather not be. You know what I mean? And we just gonna enjoy our time together with like conversating, either FaceTiming, doing something online, gaming, watching a movie or some shit like that. We not really thinking about liquor because that's not our generation no more. You know, we come back from that old school generation where weed's fully illegal and they just drinking every day after the prohibition, of course. And then now everybody's just drinking. Now you got the generation of weed starting to get legal in states where they're starting to smoke instead of drink because people don't want to, like, I guess, would you rather mess up your kind of your throat and your lungs or your kidney and your liver type shit? And your liver is more important in a way. So that being said, they outweigh the cons. They might be smoking more, but then again, they might not smoke either because that's a dangerous thing. They just like, hey, gym, back to the crib, that's it. We ain't trying to get associated with nothing. We not drinking because it does slow you down. So that's why in this situation, I think like to be real mature is to let go of all that bad shit because you know that shit gonna feed. It's not gonna benefit you later. It really is not. You're gonna look up. You're gonna be older, wrinkly, cirrhosis. You know what I'm saying? Going through dialysis because you was drinking your whole life, or you got COPD because you've been smoking marijuana. The marijuana. You hear me? You was smoking that marijuana, and now you got COPD from all the little backwoods and shit and leaves you was smoking on. So it's like, if we know this, why would we continue to do it other than we can't control our own desires, which is the reason why there's probably a lot of guys out here simping over women. They can't control their simple desires. You can't control what your endorphins. You want it at all times that you're free. You know what I'm saying? You live in life on the edge. Any free time is getting drunk time. We can't have that as our generation. If you want to be productive, we understand if you want to be rich, you got to work. At least for the men, women too. Everybody's going to school. You were just too focused. It's like everybody's trying to make it. So I don't think people have time to drink. It says everybody, like you could tell, if we're not drinking, that means people focus, dude. And if they're not focused, they just chilling out. Probably don't want to drink or smoke. So if they're making decisions, those are all conscious decisions that are unfiltered, unaltered. And I like those type of decisions over anything. But at the same time, I want to know what people are doing with their free time. If I'm assuming people are doing kind of what I'm doing, and not everybody, but I assume that you're out here and you're looking for a better goal. I assume that you're out here and you trying to do better in your life, and that's why you don't want weed or alcohol to stop you or progress or digress what you're doing. And that makes complete sense. So I'm going to leave it here at that. I don't believe that our generation is sitting here for that reason. Our generation, we just don't drink or smoke because of the economy, the inflation, the timing. People just don't have time to drink like that. The partying, that shit's getting dry. You know, we're not getting what we want out of it. You know, you go to the club to, have a little fun. You might want to take a little sweet thing home. Sweet thing don't want you, G. You just wasted $200. Now it's going to take you 2 days to recoup and a bunch of tax money. So, maybe it's just not making sense to spend it. And that's the reason why we don't drink. It's your boy, Angelo Savage. Y'all tell me why. If you a Gen Z or a millennial, put that in the comment section and tell me why you don't drink or smoke. Or if you do drink or smoke, you throw that in the comment section and give me a better reason. Maybe a reason I didn't explain in this video. That being said, make sure you like the video for the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy, Angelo Savage. We almost at 1,000. Let's go. Peace.